Addictions are an interesting topic to talk about because there's a lot of videos on YouTube out there and all around about how to break addictions and how to stop doing bad things and quitting bad habits. There's so many of them. There's ones about junk food, porn, video games, everything. It's all out there. All these videos about how to stop addictions. You may find that some of them will work for you and some of them don't work for you, and it's really just, it's a big hassle. It's super annoying to deal with. Addictions are terrible. And that's why I believe breaking an addiction that you're heavily addicted to is one of the hardest and most challenging things that you'll ever do in your life. So, I wonder if the planes get picked up on the camera. There's a big plane flying over right now. As there always is, of course. I can't see it out my window. That's where I get the lighting from. Right. Alright, I don't even know what I said there, but sorry, back to the video. So addictions are what I believe one of the hardest things you'll ever have to deal with in your life. Breaking them are an absolute pain in the ass. Like, they suck. No filter, they fucking suck, right? So I've sort of come to believe and understand that I think there's different levels of addictions. And this varies through person to person. Like, we're all unique. We all have different ones. Maybe you have similar ones to me, or you could have totally different ones to me. It's like, it varies from person to person. I believe that there's like three levels of addictions. There's the ones that you're not so addicted to, like things that are easier to break for you, stuff that you can sort of like cut out with relative ease. Then there's the harder ones. They're like, they're things that you're quite addicted to, and it'll take some effort to break, and it might take you like a month or two or maybe 3 months to sort of get it out of your life, and then maybe like every 6 months or so you'll come back to it and like get addicted to it for like a couple days or weeks or something before you go, hold on, what am I doing? And then you're able to just cut it out straight there and, like, you know, cut the head off the snake or something like that. Then I believe there's this one addiction that we all have, whether it's junk food, overeating, video games, porn, YouTube, scrolling on social media, anything. I believe we all have this one addiction that is like the great one, like the great demon that's a pain in the ass to break. It's an absolute devil. It's just one that you're so heavily addicted to and your mind is so attached to that you just can't, no matter what you try, it's just so hard to destroy this addiction. And it always keeps coming back to haunt you, and it's like something you need to work on for years and years to break this big addiction down. This video I'm going to talk about here is some things that you can do to help yourself break down and destroy this massive addiction. Like, to cut off this big addiction, it'll take time. Lots and lots and lots of time and lots of effort. It's not something that you can just cut off and, you know, happy days, it's done. It's something that's going to take time. And, you know, yeah, it feels like, oh, it'll take a whole year to break this addiction, so I might as well. It's like going to the gym. Oh, it takes 3 years to build the muscle, so I'm just not gonna bother. But the time's gonna pass anyway, so you might as well start today and start trying to break down this mammoth of an addiction. So, let's say this great big addiction of yours is porn, and you're incredibly heavily addicted to it. You've been able to cut out video games out of your life with ease. You've been able to cut out junk food and wasting time on social media, but you're just so heavily addicted to porn. For example's sake, we'll say you're incredibly heavily addicted to this. And then, to break down this thing, I think the best method is to buy a calendar of your year, like you know those calendars where yeah, you know, buy a calendar. And what you should do with this is, let's say you watch porn every single day, or even let's say you do it 3 times a day. Let's say it's like that bad, you're that addicted to it, right? You know, because you could be. And I want to give advice for the worst case scenario here. So let's say you do it like 3 times a day. You're really heavily addicted to porn and just like playing with your meat or whatever you do when you watch it. So instead of seeing it as, okay, I'm just gonna try cut this out of my life immediately. Let's say you do it 3 times a day. Challenge yourself for the next week to do it 2 times a day for 3 days. So if you look at 7 days a week, if you watch porn only 2 times instead of 3 times, then on that day, tick a box off on the calendar. So this calendar, you literally bought this calendar for the sole purpose of breaking this one addiction. So you're watching porn 3 times a day, but if you do it 2 times instead of 3 times, then you tick the box off. You do that for that whole week. Challenge yourself to get it 3 times in the week. Then try get 4 days where you only watch porn twice a day. And then the next week, try get all 7 days when you're watching porn 2 times a day. And then the next week, try watch porn only once a day. And when you watch it once a day, then you can tick off the box. And you keep building this up until eventually it's like, okay, for every day, once you've reached a state where you're only doing it once a day, then look at the entire month, like all like 30 days or something. Let's say you're doing it every single day, just once a day for all 30 days. Then challenge yourself to resist porn 5 days in the month. So you can go like apeshit and play with your meat and watch porn for 25 days of the month. But 5 days, you gotta resist it. That sounds doable, right? 5 for 25, like, yeah, you can do it in the whole month. That's easy. Then the next month, try challenge yourself to resist it 10 days. Then the next 15 days, and 20 days, and then 25, and then the entire month. This process takes a long time, a really, really long time. But when it's this one habit that you're heavily, heavily addicted to, you can't just cut it out like that. You can't just stop doing it instantly. You gotta slowly, like at a snail's pace, you gotta slowly phase it out of your life. So start really, really slow with this and stay going really, really slow. It's baby steps the whole way for this big addiction. You got to take your time with it, get a calendar, and if you're doing it every day, challenge yourself to only do it 25 times the month, and then 20 times, and so on and so forth. And by the end, in like 8 months' time or something like that, you're doing it maybe once a month or twice a month or something. At that point, it's not a problem for you. You're not addicted to it anymore. That's how you stop the addiction. It's not like this streak kind of thing. A lot of people talk about like these like streaks or something. They go, okay, 1 day on NoFap, 2 days on NoFap, 3 days on NoFap. Oh, I reset the streak. Looks like I'm all lost. That's not how it works. It's like someone could be on like a 50-day NoFap streak, and then they, screw up one day, and then they feel like they've lost all the progress. But like, my guy, you've literally resisted porn for 50 days. That's a huge fucking feat. You didn't lose any progress. If you've resisted it for 50 days and you screw up on one, that's fine. It's not a problem for you anymore. Try to get that sort of streak mindset out of you, and try to think of it like, instead of doing it 30 times a month, do it 25 times a month. And as every month goes on, just slowly increase the difficulty. Maybe you can go day by day. Maybe go 29 days of screwing around it, or it's better put it like 1 day of resisting the habit, then the next month 2 days of resisting, next month 3 days, next month 4 days. Whatever it takes, just slowly but surely make progress. As long as you're making progress every single month, eventually you're going to kill the habit. And as long as you never ever give up, you're going to kill the habit. It takes time. It takes a long time. Do not ever beat yourself up when you indulge in this bad habit, because it's, whatever it is being designed in a way to keep you hooked on it. We're not supposed to be winning. We're not supposed to be here just beating these habits. So it's not supposed to happen. And yet here we are fighting this battle. It's a battle within yourself. The habits and all these bad things are designed to keep you glued to it, but we're not going to let that happen. We're going to destroy it, and we're going to take it out of our lives. And when you screw up, and when you're at you're having success, meditate about it, journal about it, celebrate your successes with yourself, or even share it with other people. Share it in the comments or something. But just, the key is to take baby steps and never ever give up. Thank you for watching this video. Subscribe to the channel if you want to see more videos like this. And I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye, and honestly, man, good fucking luck. You can do this.